Geoffrey, welcome to Super Investor. Thank you for joining me. On your panel, you were looking at trust, if you like. It sounds a simple concept, doesn't it? But it's so key to this industry. And do you think in this sort of environment, it's more important than ever?
I mean, I think it's always been important. In this environment, it kind of comes back to the fore. I think when LPs were competing for access with GPs, they may have forgotten somewhat some of the reliance that we have on trust. Because when we're investing in a private equity partnership, you're investing for 10-year term plus, and you're really making a judgment as to how people will behave in the future. And it all comes down to trust. Will they do what they said they're going to do? Are they going to invest in the sectors they said they're going to invest in? Are they going to realize the money in a timely way? And we're relying on economic alignment, but really, your trust, particularly if things don't go quite to plan, how are they going to behave? It is really a fundamental central question to every investment that you make. And so I think in these times when there is less money going around, and some GPs may have some performance issues, you will find that if you made those correct judgments on trust, those GPs will deliver versus the others.
As you implied there, trust means kind of many things as well, doesn't it? It's sort of transparency, it's the ethics, and I guess an element of loyalty to commit to what you said you were going to do.
Indeed, I mean, ultimately, we are entrusting our money, or our members' money, to these people to invest wisely. In private equity, if things go wrong, you don't have that many levers that you can pull on a private equity fund, and they're not very pleasant for either side. So you want to avoid that. So you really are relying on that.
And how does that impact on perhaps new entrants to the market? And how do you build any new relationships when you are in a tricky wait and see kind of environment? Is that possible? And what would you say to new entrants that they need to be doing?
Yeah, no, I think it is, as I said, important, and actually, kind of use this time, if you can, to build relationships, because trust does build over time. I think, quote about confidence is, confidence goes up on a staircase and comes down in an elevator. And I think it's the same for trust. Like, it takes time to build. You may have a great meeting with someone, but you're not going to trust them implicitly from day one. It's going to take time to, tell people what you're going to do, and then come back and show what you've done, and come back again and show that you keep doing what you said you're going to do. And that does take time. So, we have, in this slower environment, we have more time. So definitely, take those opportunities to communicate, meet build new relationships, and keep, frequency of contact will pay off.
And I guess an environment like Super Investor, where you get to see lots of those people all in one place, is a great environment to do that.
Yeah, indeed. No, I think the advantage of having everybody in one place is you can get a lot of different contacts done in a short period of time, and you see in the hallways here how much personal contact really still matters in this industry.
With that in mind as well, how important to you is it that you come to an event like this, that you get to share ideas as well? Because you talked there about sort of trust and relationships, but is it important to sort of hear what other people are doing and have an insight into how other people are operating and what sort of alignments exist out there, and how that kind of perhaps compares to your relationships?
No, indeed. I mean, by seeing lots of different people, you can make clear contrast between how some people operate and others. As I said, revisit old relationships and build on them. And in these times, there is more contrast between how people are doing. Maybe some people made a lot of investments at the peak before 2022, and now they're digesting those investments, and other people may have been more cautious, and you definitely now see that very clearly in the portfolios, and in their general behavior and demeanor and outlook.
So we've talked there a lot about relationships. How would you say generally you're seeing alignment in terms of GP-LP relations at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we had a great run. The industry had a great run for 10 years or more, where everyone was aligned on the upside. I think as things grow more challenging, you're finding out about alignment on the downside or a sideways environment that we're in. So for us, some of the issues that grew as funds grew, you've got the economics, the balance of economics between carry and management fees probably shifted more towards the management fees. We'd like to think that in this environment, maybe some of that balance can be readdressed and rebalanced towards LPs. There are some initiatives that we're working on with the ILPA, for example, to try to bring in alignment, to kind of reduce fund formation costs, which have really grown a lot in the last 10 years for reasons that are hard to discern. Not in much clear value add there. Issues about fund transferability. Now, in these liquidity constrained environment, people are buying and selling their fund interests more. They haven't, and making sure that LPs are able to do that relatively freely without too much constraint is something that we're also concerned about.
So just finally, what would you say are the key factors for you when you are building those robust and resilient relationships? And what would you say are the key kind of differentiators when you are looking for those relationships and what you expect in a partner?
Yeah, I think in the spirit of partnership, you want transparency. You don't want bad surprises. Bad news should be shared early and quickly, so you don't get bad surprises. I think that's kind of one of the fundamentals. The other is doing the right thing, making sure that when things are ambiguous, they're explained or explained clearly, and the right judgments are being made by the GP. I think there will be more funds, there will be more private equity conferences for years to come. We'll be in this industry, a lot of us, and people will remember how you behaved when times are more difficult.
A great wise word to end on there. Thanks so much for talking to us. Great to see you.
Thank you.